Hello and welcome to week 2 or episode 2 of Navigating with Amanda. Today we're going to talk about scheduling our social media content. So there are lots of different ways we can do this, and hopefully if I show you how I do it. Now, bear in mind as you watch the way I do it, my system is probably, for me personally, a little bit different to what most people will use because I do so much of it across so many platforms. But if you can take some of the ideas that are behind what I do and apply them to how you schedule your social media, you will find that it frees up so much time for you uh, to do things that you want to do, things for you to do in the business. It just frees you up to be. And scheduling your content ahead of time is something I'm passionate about, something I just can't express to you how important it really is. It frees you up from that day to day feeling of what am I going to post? How am I going to post? Who am I going to post? Where am I going to post? If you pre schedule your content ahead of time, it takes all that daily stress out. It frees you up to do all the things we know we should be doing. Things like replying to comments, all of that stuff, talking to new people, making decisions that actually help us run the business. Having your content scheduled takes so much stress away from you. So let's jump in now and have a look at some of the systems I've got in place for doing my social media scheduling, and then I'll show you some tools you can use as well. So let's get into it then. So my first tool I actually want to talk to you about is having a system so you know where you're at in terms of the creation process, the scheduling process, all of that. Now, at the moment, all of my content that I'm going to show you has been pre-created. And so I can do another video another day on the way I actually create my content. But for the moment, we're just focusing on content once it's been generated, because you're going to start doing that in bulk. But once you've done that in bulk, you can actually schedule it. And that's the point in the process we're at today, is the scheduling point. So let me just change screens here. There we go. That's the one we want. So let me just bring up on my screen. Let's get rid of that because we don't need to see that many versions of us. So let's bring up on my screen a little program called Airtable. So it's a combination between a spreadsheet and a database, but I use it specifically for me. It's across for my business. I use it to keep track of my social media, where my social media is actually being done, where I'm at, what I have scheduled, what I haven't scheduled, and we're going to go through all of that this morning for you. So as you can see here, I've just created a table, a series of tabs which have all the different months on it that I've got media programmed out for. I did take June off because, well, everyone needs a little bit of a downtime here and there. And I highly recommend you actually do plan downtime into your calendar because, yeah, you'll appreciate it in the long run. So what I do is I go ahead and I create my posts, and then I bring them into Airtable. So when it comes into Airtable, let me just take all of this off so you can see what it looks like when I actually bring it into Airtable. So I have all of my posts pre-created. I bring them into Airtable. I have a list for the topic, what the actual content of the post is going to be. If I've got a call to action word, because I do use automations to prompt in some parts of my social media to make sure that I am actually able to respond in a timely manner to people. Some of the reply content that I need to have for that. I've also, as a sales and marketing exercise, I've broken down my content into which part of my audiences they are talking to, so that I make sure I am covering everything I need to be covering to help all people who are following me. Now, then I've just got any other information I need. I keep my image prompts for creating my uh, images that I use with ChatGPT. And I also do some SEO optimization on all of my content to help decrease the rankings, but we're not going to talk about any of that today. This is just what goes in to my table. So once it's in the table, I then like to filter, because as you know, I have loads of types. So I like to come in and I like to group my types, to group my content together by the different types. So first and foremost, I will group, I often will group by type, but sometimes what I'll do, depending on what I'm doing, is I'll group by type, but I'll also group by the status so that I can quickly and clearly see where someone is at. So if we then scroll back to the top, you can see I've got main content is now grouped in. This is what I've got left to schedule, and this is the group that I've got finished. Same with each of my video, each type. So, and the done's, completed. So it's all here in this table here, so I know where I'm at in my process. I'm just going to try and bring it or close it all down for you. Okay, so actually you don't need to see me close that down. So what I then do is Airtable has this ability to create a calendar view, so you can actually then, because for me I've got multiple types, I can go across and see over on my calendar where I can group my calendar by the date and the status. So what I do here is, this is the 17th of July, and this is stuff I haven't posted yet. So I can see that this is here, it still needs to be posted. And all I've got to do then come in is I can click on it and I can expand it out and I can see everything I need to use for that particular day's post. So that's the video, one of the videos for this particular day. So I can see that it's quite quick and easy. It's there, ready to go. So all I've got to do then is come into scheduling. So this tells me what I've got left for scheduling. So you can see here I've already done a good chunk of July and I've got a few to go, but I thought scheduling is something that's so important that we all really need to be able to get a handle on it. So let me go back over here, and we'll go open up Facebook, because that's one of the places I do schedule. And Facebook, especially if you have a business page or a group, has great inbuilt features for scheduling. So, for example, Facebook here, let's have a look at how to schedule inside of a group. So we go to a group, and this is my group here, Navigating Success Together. So if you haven't joined the group, please do so, because I do these videos in here once a week with lots of different tips on how you can do things. So to schedule inside of a Facebook group is actually not a hard thing at all. What you do is you come in to your group. It's got to be your group where you've got admin privileges. You come in, you click on write something. So then I come back over here. Okay, I'm on the 17th. Here's a post. That post hasn't been done. So let's see, what do I need? It's a Maven video. So I know it's a video. The other thing I have discovered or come across that makes things really super easy for me is having your content pre-created and saved in a really organized manner. So in here, inside of my filing system here, you can see this is my July social media. You can see this is everything I'm going to be scheduling for July. You can see it's all there. Now, I love numbers because for me, personally, numbers make things really quick, simple to follow, and easy to find in a big list. I find alphabetized lists are good, but for me, they slow me down, so I'm not as quick finding things. I find numbers a lot easier. So if you need to use a numbering system, a letter system, do it. The idea here is you've got to do something that is right for you. For me, numbers work. But as you can see here, if I go back over to Airtable, you can see that I have a record ID column. It's number 48. So that tells me, if I just do that, so you can see all my numbers here. These are all numbers. So I know that video number 48 or record number 48 will be the same as, if we go back over to my Airtable into here, you can see 48 and 48. So whatever the record number is in my content calendar over here in Airtable is the same as the file name in my file where I keep all my social media. So it becomes really super quick, easy, and simple to find. So with that in mind, all I've got to do now is I go into my Facebook group, which is Navigating Success Together. I click on Write Something. At this point case, I don't have a particular set of words to write for this post. So all I've got to do here is I've just got to click on my post and drag it in and drop it onto the Facebook post. Now, then I can go back to my information in Airtable. And then because I also, so that I don't get confused when I'm doing, because I do a lot of social media. You probably don't do as much as I do, but I do a lot, and I sometimes lose track of where I'm at. So that I know that where I'm at, I have here the type I'm doing, the date at the top, and the time of day it schedules. So I know this one is going to be the 17th of July at 10 a.m. and I still need to schedule it. So we'll go in here and I just go down to the bottom of the post here. You should see this little calendar, and we go in here and we go schedule post. I'll come here and we come in and find the date. Now, my Facebook group, I'm not sure how you change it, but sometimes it's actually set to the 24-hour clock. So I can actually just come in here and type the first two numbers in the 24-hour clock, and it brings up a list of times for me. So I can go into and then schedule. Click the button schedule, and that's how simple it is to schedule a post in a Facebook group. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the same post, but we're going to do it on my post. I have a professional profile. Let me just bring us back to a different screen. Just a moment. Back to this one here. Okay, so that was scheduling into a Facebook group. Now, a lot of us will have professional mode on Facebook turned on. Now, you can actually just schedule to it, but you can't do it from a computer. So, Facebook will, yeah, they don't like you to schedule professional mode from the computer. I don't know why. I would love to see Facebook bring that in because it makes things just a touch easier for us when we're trying to get things done. However, there is a way to do it from your mobile phone. Now, the conditions here are if you've got it on you have we all have Facebook on our phone, do we not? So the trick here is to get your content from where you've saved it. So if we go back to to give you back a heck of a lot of time in your day every day of the week. So you only probably need to do once or twice a week. Maybe the challenge for you should be to schedule out 1 week's worth of content at a time and start there and just give yourself that freedom. Create it once a week, schedule it once a week. And then when you've got more comfortable with that system, create 2 weeks worth, schedule 2 weeks worth, and build it up until you get about a month's worth of content scheduled out in advance. And then I promise you will just find that it gives you so much freedom. And I can't wait to hear how much freedom you guys have had with this. I'm excited. Please tell me how much freedom you get from just doing something as simple as pre-scheduling your content. If you've got any more questions, please just drop them in the comments. This video will be in my Facebook group, Navigating Success Together, and it'll be on my YouTube channel. And you can find that by going into YouTube and searching for at Your Creative Content Navigator. And I will see you next week with another video. Thank you for watching this week's edition of Navigating with Amanda, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye for now.